What's up, everyone? Bringing you a handgun collection video. My collection of handguns as it stands July 2020. Calling this a handgun video, not a pistol video, because I think when most people think of handguns, they think of something like this, a true handgun. In the eyes of the law and the ATF, a pistol can be a little more than just this. I do have AR and AK pistols as it is viewed by the law, but I'm not going to do those here because in the future, depending on how well this video is received, I may do a long gun video, and I would include those in the long gun video. But they're much more of a pain to drag out of the safe than my handguns. So I'm just going to start off doing handguns. Got a good number of them to showcase to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and not waste any more of your time and get into the video. I will say one more thing though, but this video is I'm not a YouTuber by trade. This is actually my first YouTube video. I'm going to be mashing together a bunch of clips of these guns, and it'll probably look like somebody who doesn't know how to use the internet did it, but I know how to use the internet. It's just that I'm, like I said, not a YouTuber by trade. I don't have any of the fancy cameras or the editing software or anything like that. So I'm going to do the best I can with the free apps available to me, and I'll try to make this video as palatable as I can. But anyway, the first gun that we have here is my Glock 32. This is a Gen 3 in 357 SIG. This is the first gun that I ever bought. I think I bought it 2 or 3 days after I turned 21. And I concealed carried this for the longest time. I really like it. I still like it, even though I don't carry it anymore. You know, this was, what, 7 years ago that I bought this. Like I said, it was my first gun, so I concealed carried it a lot. Carried it with me everywhere. But, you know, 7 years of firearms technology and innovation, there's no reason to carry something like this anymore because things have advanced so far. But I could still carry it if I wanted to. I haven't carried it in a long time, but there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. It's just that I feel there are better options out there, and you'll see my carry piece at some point in this video. But, yeah, the only things I've done to it is I did this lame color fill on the slide, and then I put a Crimson Trace green laser on it, you know. But other than that, it is as it was when I bought it. But that's the Glock 32. That's my first gun, and yeah, so we'll move on to the next one. The next gun that we have here is the Walther P22. This was the second gun that I purchased in my collection. Purchased this not long after the Glock 32. I'm not going to be going in purchase order for this entire video. Actually not going to be going in purchase order after this gun because I remember my first, I remember my second. I could not tell you what my third, fourth, fifth, etc. I couldn't tell you what they were. I don't remember. And it doesn't matter anyway. So, anyway, this is, like I said, the Walther P22, 22 long rifle chambering. It's a good gun. I've never had any functional issues out of it outside the, you know, the sometimes spotty reliability of some 22 ammo, but I've never had any issues that I attributed to the gun. The only thing that I did was I added the threaded barrel cap to it, and that was just a couple of years ago when I got my first and currently only 22 can. The only real problem I've had out of it is, as you can see, the sights, the color fill in the sights is apparently like I don't know, some kind of rod or of white material or some white dot, and it fell out of the backside. It actually fell out of the front sight too at some point, but I kind of color filled that in with some nail polish or paint, I don't remember. But I obviously didn't have as much luck doing that on the back sight, and I never attempted it again to try to get it all even again. more of an annoyance than anything. But yeah, that's the only issue it ever gave me. I don't know why those things fell out like they did, and I also don't know why I fixed one but didn't fix the other one. But maybe that'll inspire me to get it right, because that actually kind of annoys me. I don't really think about it often, but now that I'm looking at it, it's pretty annoying. But anyway, Walther P22. That's the next gun. Next gun is a Smith & Wesson Shield in 40 Smith & Wesson. I got this not long after the Shields had released, maybe a few months or so. I was looking for something smaller than the Glock 32. This did not replace the Glock 32 in my carry rotation. I carried this at where I worked at the time. It was about the best that you could do as far as slipping something in your pocket. It was about as concealable as it gets, unless you wanted to go like the 380 route, which I didn't want to do. But as far as the 9mm, 40, 45, the quintessential pistol calibers, this was about as best you were going to do at that time. And I added the Crimson Trace red laser to this one, and it was a good gun. I've shot it plenty at the range. It functions well. I don't ever remember having an issue out of it. But yeah, like I said, I pretty much kept my 32, my Glock 32, in the primary carry rotation. But this gun right here had its place, and it served me well. I don't carry it anymore, but I'm just not the type to really sell or trade guns. I pretty much buy and at the very least stash them away in the safe. But yeah, this is my Smith & Wesson 40 Shield. Only upgrades is a red laser and another half-assedly done color fill. I don't guess it's too bad, but whatever. That's that. And next gun on the list is my Sig Sauer 1911 in 45 ACP. This is a Sig Sauer RCS 1911. I don't know what RCS stands for. I'm pretty sure the CS stands for Custom Shop. The R, I couldn't tell you. Walked into a gun shop a long time ago. Didn't have any intentions of buying anything that day necessarily. But I saw this at like, I don't know, $700, which was a good deal, and still to this day would be a good deal, in my opinion, for this particular piece anyway. And so I picked it up, and I don't regret it at all. I know that plenty of people could tell you plenty of issues that they've had with their 1911s, but I can't relate to that on a personal level, because this one has never given me those issues. I think SIG makes a really good gun. They've had their share of recent issues, but luckily I have never been on the receiving end of those, and this one holds true to that. This has been a really, really good gun, and I enjoy it, and I'm glad that I have it. So yeah, that's my Sig Sauer RCS 1911, and we'll go to the next up is a Sig Sauer P229C, which is a P229 compact. This is in 40 Smith & Wesson. This was another gun that was in another shop that I walked into one day and didn't have any particular intentions of buying anything, but the shop owner got a really good deal on some of these, and he cost averaged them out, and I mean, this thing was like priced at just under $500. So I saw it and said that I needed to have one, so I got it. And like I said, it's in 40. This day and age, 40 is kind of nowhere near as popular as it used to be. Now I'm planning to find a 357 SIG barrel for this to convert it. A lot of you are probably saying, well, 357 SIG is just as unpopular and just as, if not more expensive than 40 Smith & Wesson. And you're right. You're right about that. But I'm a big fan of the 357 SIG caliber. I don't really care what the ammo costs. I'll buy it. I think I would enjoy shooting this in 357 SIG, and I don't not enjoy shooting it in 40. It's just that 40 is a less popular caliber now, but still not a thing wrong with it. But either way, whatever this gun ultimately fires, whether it's set up for 40 or set up for 357 SIG, I'll keep shooting it and keep enjoying it. But yeah, really like this one, and it's the double action, single action. If I'm going to get a hammer fired pistol, that's what I want if I can help it. Double action, single action with the decocker, that's how I like these. Because if you ever decided you wanted to carry it, in my opinion, that's the best way to do it. But that's just my opinion. That's my philosophy on it. And anyway, that is the Sig Sauer P229. Next up, got the Glock 34 MOS. This is the 9mm long slide. I guess you could call it like a competition pistol. I don't know, but it's got the lightning cut on the slide up at the top near the muzzle. And I got this when the MOS platform was really fresh on the scene. I thought that it was a really cool concept to put a micro red dot on a handgun. That idea wasn't very old at the time. It was the first that I'd heard of it, so this was the first platform that I went to that was capable of it. Up until a few hours ago, this had a Trigicon RMR on it. I took it off to put it on another pistol that you'll see later in the video. It's my most recent purchase, and it's always been a great pistol. Always had that, classic Glock reliability. No issues, no jams, no nothing. It fed everything I ever gave it, and it was a really good host for the RMR. But it was one of those guns that just made it out on range days, and I don't know. I feel like the gun that I put the RMR on in favor of this will be shot a lot more, because the gun that I put it on is also a really good suppressor host, and it's just I have it set up to be a really, really fun handgun. But this is still a really nice pistol, and I'll never get rid of it, and I'll probably at a later date in the future, I'll find something else to put on it. It may be an RMR, it may be something else, I don't know, but it'll be another micro red dot. And yeah, so its current configuration is back to stock, but it's just a temporary thing. I'll get it back to similar to how I had it, but it's a really good pistol. It's a 9mm, and not a thing wrong with it. It's just got to wait its turn to get its optic back.